Hello, everyone. Uh, Today on the absence management, we will be looking at how a manager service transaction can be checked. So on the manager service transaction, we will be looking at mainly on the absence area. What are the absence transaction that manager can perform on behalf of employee? So manager under my team, he would be able to see all his team members' history records of absence. He would be able to add the absence for employees. They would be also able to check the existing balances, if any, and withdraw absences for the recorded absences. And if the what are the absence balance for the accrual plan types. So let's see all this transaction in the system now. I have logged in as a manager. So when you log in as a manager, you would see a section. When you log in as an employee, we were seeing only the me section. So now for that, I have logged in as a manager who has a manager role. So I can see this my team area. On this my team area, I can click on this my team task tiles. So when you click on this task, you would be able to see all the direct reporters on this heart. So this manager has only one uh, direct reportee. So this is one. So under this employee again has another direct reports. So that is why we are seeing this. If he doesn't have any direct reports, we wouldn't be seeing this. So what's the advantages for a manager who has employee who has in turn has direct reportees? This manager would be able to do the transaction for that direct. If you click on this, you would be able to see that the AU employee, that user has a manager who is AU manager 1. And AU manager 1 is a direct reportee of AU manager 2 user. So but AU Manager 2 can perform the transaction for both his direct reportee and also his indirect reportee, who is AU employee. Now, I can perform the same transaction as I can perform for the direct reported. So I have all this. So first, I'll show you how I can perform the transaction. See, this is what AU Manager 2 is the employee that I have logged in as. AU Manager 1 is the direct reportee who directs reports to AU Manager 2, and AU employee reports to AU Manager 1. So now that I have logged in as AU Manager 2, I'll access his own direct report is records, absence records. I'll first add the absence for this employee. So I'll just select one of the type and then say this employee doesn't have any absence balance. That is why it shows as absence as 0 hours. We haven't calculated absences for this employee. If there is a validation of no negative balances, then when I try to add absences when there is no balance, it will give an error message saying that you can't record this absence because this employee isn't enrolled or eligible for any absence, because I haven't enrolled this employee for any absence plan. So, but once I enroll this employee for the absences, a manager can add the absences for this employee as well. Now I'll go to the indirect reportee who is a new employee. If this employee is enrolled with absences, I'll try to add absences for this. So I'm repeating again. So a manager can perform the transaction for both direct and indirect reporting. Now, for first transaction, we saw how under my team, we can see all the my team members, direct or indirect, and their absence transaction history. Now we'll see the next transaction, which is adding an absence for the direct reportee on their behalf. Since this employee has a balance of 30 hours, I'll try adding annual leave. for 2 days. And then if there's any comments or attachment, I can provide that. So I would say annual leave. And if there's any attach, based on the configuration that is set up at the absence type and plan, you will be able to see the fields here. So I'll just submit this. Okay, now that adding absence for a direct report is done, let's check the absence balance, or for the existing balance we'll see all the existing balance, and then existing absences. For this existing absences, so this is in progress. Since the manager has done, so the approval setup is done in such a way that when the manager record an absence on employee's behalf, it gets auto approved in this case. In the system, that is how it is configured. So you can see last time when we tried doing it from the employee, it was showing as awaiting approval. But here it shows as in progress. That means it is already approved and it is in progress because this is the current date. It is currently happening, this absence. So hence it is in progress. Once it is completed, once we are past with this date, which shows as completed, and if it is a future date, it shows as a scheduled. So it depends if the manager does on employee's behalf, and even though if it requires an approval, then it shows as an awaiting approval based on the approval level. Here as well, I can add an absence. So in the existing absences, I can see all the absences on based on the status. It's withdrawn, in progress, and I can also see the absences based on the date ranges or based on the type that I would select here. So now if this employee has only annual leave, if he has any other leave type, we would be able to seize that leave type as well. So that is about the existing balances. And in the same existing balance, let's withdraw the current balance. So that would, so I'm just gonna click on edit. So though it is in progress, I can still delete this. So now it shows as withdraw. Now we have performed the 3 transaction, which is add absences, check the existing absences, and then withdraw the absence. That is all done. Now we'll see how the absence balances can be checked. So here's an indirect reporting. I'll check the absence balance for this employee. See, this is what is the absence balance. If we click on this, we would be seeing in detail, like as of which date, and what is the term. So the term is between this and this. So it will calculate. So this employee was hired on yesterday itself. So the planned term would be from the planned term that is selected as a calendar anniversary date, and hence from hire date to next year, it will look for that term. Adjustment, this absence is done based on the adjustment, the same transaction that we can see here. What is the total balance? If there's any details to it, we can see that as well. So that was about the MSS absence transaction. We will connect we'll connect back again with another absence session. Until then, bye.